Hey everyone, welcome to the SWINA webinar. Come on in. All right, we're just gonna wait a couple more minutes for some people to join us here. And I'm gonna have one of our other staff members joining us in a second too, so we can just get into some different aspects of the aesthetics and laser programs with them. So as we're going here today, feel free to put any questions and comments in the chat. I'll check on that as I can, and then definitely make sure we hit any questions at the end and get everything addressed. So glad that you're all here. If you want to, as we're waiting for just another minute here, feel free to put, like I said, any questions in the chat or yeah, whatever program you think you're interested in. If you kind of know that or have a general time frame in mind, then let me know. Cool. Hey, Leslie. All right, guys, so we're going to get started. My name's Hannah. I'm the admissions director here at the Southwest Institute of Natural Aesthetics. I've been here for a little over 4 years, and I'm also a graduate of this program. Back in 2018, I took our aesthetics and our laser program, so we'll break down both of those and your options with enrollment. And then I got to work in the laser field for a little while after graduation, and also had a mobile aesthetics and makeup on the side. So can kind of speak to things from both perspectives. And then Leslie here, I'll let her introduce herself. She's going to tell us more about our laser program.
Yeah, my name is Leslie. I have been a laser instructor here since October 2019. I did take the program here, both aesthetics and laser. I do also have outside experience. I work in the industry here and there, a handful of med spas, clinics. I've done it all out there, and I just love SWINA so much. So here I am teaching all of you all of my knowledge.
Awesome. Yeah, and we love having different perspectives here. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to make sure that our chat is turned on. So give me 1 second, because I guess that's not very helpful if you can't type anything in there. So let me just see what we're doing here. Okay. All right, we'll play around with this here. Cool. Okay, so what I want to do, I'm just going to talk with Leslie a little bit and kind of get some more info for you guys on her perspective of our laser program and the laser industry as a whole. We're also going to talk through aesthetics after we chat with Leslie a little bit. We're going to go through a little PowerPoint and kind of admissions information in general and the enrollment process and all of those details. But yeah, I want to chat with Leslie a little bit here. So Leslie, from your perspective, when it comes to the laser industry as a whole, what is the benefit of getting your cosmetic laser certificate, either in conjunction with aesthetics, or kind of why might we be looking into the laser industry?
Definitely, yeah, no, good question. So, from what I have experienced in my own personal life, going out into the field, a lot of private practices, med spa, wherever, are looking for people who have a lot of knowledge, a lot of education, a lot of hands-on experience, which is phenomenal for us to offer a lot of that here. When you're working with clients, I think in the industry that we're in, it's always evolving, it's always changing. There's a lot of new things, and laser being one of them. I feel like having that under your belt is going to benefit you so much in a lot of different ways. You're going to be super knowledgeable on technology that is up and coming. You're going to be able to offer and perform a lot more treatments than, just somebody who has just their aesthetic license. And you're just going to have that edge, on you when, you're put in the field like that. You can speak on a lot more things. And I just think it makes you more, what's the word, handsome to employers. Maybe they want to bring on lasers in the future, and you could be somebody that helps guide them in that. And so I find it to be super, super beneficial for sure.
Yeah, I kind of think of it as being more marketable, right?
Exactly.
Get more options on your resume. Yeah. And you can speak to this too, but I think it's true that more and more there's a lot of employers or sometimes when we think of laser, we just think of med spas and things like that, but there are a lot of other aspects to it.
Right. So, the list is almost endless, I would say. Just to list a couple, obviously you've got your med spas, You've got your, private practices, you have educational, you could work for a laser company, the people who actually make the devices, you would be a phenomenal person to work with. You could help in marketing, you could do sales in the industry. Gynecologist offices are offering, for example, radio frequency services for, if you've got a weak pelvic floor, maybe you pour a lot during birth or something like that. For example, you've got PCOS, your doctor can offer laser hair reduction. They've got techs in the office that can help treat and maintain that hair. I've even heard of dentists having lasers in their office, and you could be somebody that operates that machinery, and that's just to name a few. Plastic surgeons' offices. It's a huge list. It's a huge industry for sure.
Yeah, and so in order to operate cosmetic lasers, I don't remember if you touched on this already, but you do have to be under the supervision of a doctor or a medical director. So
Yes.
as you guys think through, long-term goals with that, just being aware, if you're someone who envisions going into your own practice, having your own, space and being your own employer, there's still that possibility, which is a couple other hoops you have to jump through. So yeah, awesome. Yeah, so it's a great option. Can you talk through just briefly kind of the treatments that or just kind of the overview of our program and the curriculum and what students would be learning when they're here?
Yeah, so our program for laser is 180 hours. Your first 80 hours are going to be in more of a classroom setting. We have it organized to where you're learning about theory, physics. We're talking about, skin histology, physiology, stuff that's more geared towards kind of laser. In that sense, we talk about theory with all of our devices, the main devices or technologies that you'll work with outside: photofacial, skin resurfacing, radio frequency. We talk about advanced treatments, medical peels, microneedling. We throw in dermaplane in there. We offer a lot in that aspect. And once you complete those 80 hours, you move into what we call like our clinic. You would finish 100 hours, your last 100 hours, where you actually get to work on clients. So the state requires, so many hands-on practices, and we help you get those done. So essentially, in our clinic, you would do skin resurfacing, photofacials, skin tightening, fat reduction. We offer, besides the checkoffs, we offer microneedling in clinic, chemical peels, and we can pretty much treat any body part. So we'll kind of walk you through all of that. So all in all, 180 hours. Most people finish, if you're on track with everything and you're coming in, it'll take about 15, 16 weeks or so. Yeah, give or take.
Yeah. For our program, a prereq to take laser is to have taken our aesthetics program or to already be licensed as an esthetician or a cosmetologist.
Yep.
So that's not a state requirement. That's just something that we have in place so that you have a really good foundation coming into laser, because a lot of that builds on aesthetics. And Leslie can speak to this too, but I think from an employment standpoint, it can be very challenging to get a career in the laser industry if an employer doesn't see that you also have that licensing on your resume.
Correct. Yeah. So having that aesthetics foundation when you enter into the laser program just makes you that much stronger, more knowledgeable. You kind of already have an understanding of how the skin works. And now you're just going to apply this new technology, this new information to what you already know. And yeah, if you get out there and you just don't have that background, it can be a little bit challenging. Your clients are going to have all of these questions. You're going to need to know certain things in order to understand how the laser energy is working. And so it just makes you a lot stronger for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And so the hours that Leslie's mentioning, 180 total, that's our laser program. The first 80 is that didactic, the last 100 is hands-on in the clinic. Those 80 hours are twice as many hours as the state requires for certification too. So that's really cool, because with our program, you're getting a lot more training and knowledge up front than you are at many other schools. So you're really well equipped once you're in the field and have that depth of knowledge.
Definitely. Yeah. And that's super attractive to an employer. You've got all of this time invested. You're super serious about what you want to do, and you have that with you. So for sure.
Yeah, great. Anything else that you think incoming prospective students might want to know, or things that stand out about our program?
I mean, just come in with an open mind, ready to learn. I think it's super exciting. In my own experience, I actually didn't know too much about laser before I took the program, and it opened my eyes. It opened so many doors for me. I came in with a little bit of self-interest. I wanted some hair reduction, some fat reduction, and so now understanding the knowledge behind it all just made me I don't know, it just made me feel really good about myself, really empowered. So I'm super happy I came here and I'm still here. And I hope, you guys all come here.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I can speak to that
Yeah.
too. I mean, having been through the program, then working in the field,
Yep.
I had coworkers in my workplace who went to other schools that would come to me sometimes with
Yep.
questions about how to perform their job, which,
Yeah, I would do
is
many
wild, but
trainings. It was really funny. And
uh-huh.
so I just found myself naturally, people gravitated
Yeah.
to learn from me. So
For sure. Awesome. There's another thought that I just had. Oh, we had a question come through, and I think, guys, I just changed some settings, so hopefully you can chat now. Give it a shot if you need to, if you have any questions. I saw a question come through on Facebook. If tattoo removal, that's a great question. That's something that a lot of people ask. I'll let you answer that one. Did we teach that?
For sure. So laser tattoo removal, we don't offer it here. We do talk about the theory, how it works, so that you have that knowledge when you get out into the industry. But that is something definitely that you can learn in the field if you're working under the direct supervision of a doctor. There's just a lot more that goes into it, localized numbing. Sometimes some clients need a certain prescription to help them relax. A lot of the times, you're going to have a nurse on standby. So it's just a different, what we call animal. So we don't offer it here, but outside in the industry is definitely something that you can learn if the facility you work at has it. For sure.
And is it true too, though, even though we don't have that machine on site, the technology and kind of the way that tattoo removal works in our body, in the body, is similar to the other treatments that we're taught here. So once you're certified, it kind of crosses over.
Correct. For example, a lot of our lasers, we have what we call our targets. So the light energy is attracted to a certain target. For example, photofacial. So that wavelength is attracted to reds and browns in the skin. When that light comes in contact with its target, it causes either a little coagulation, or if you can imagine with the brown spot, you've got a little circle here, absorbs the light, breaks up into little teeny tiny pieces, body absorbs it, gets rid of it. That same principle can be put on tattoo removal. It's a light energy that is used, that is attracted to the pigment. Once the light finds a target, it blows it up, tiny pieces, body absorbs it, takes it away. So yes, very similar theory behind it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of lasers out there, so we stay very up to date with what we have here on campus. All of our instructors are very knowledgeable in the industry as a whole too. So even if there's something we don't have here and you guys have heard of it or have questions around it, always ask, and our instructors can either give you that info or point you in the direction of more information.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Awesome. Well, I think that's everything I wanted to talk to you about. So I appreciate you being here.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, awesome.
I'll chat soon.
Cool. All right.
Bye.
See you later. All right, guys. So what we're going to do next is I just want to go over some basic program info with you for the aesthetic side of things too, because I have a feeling that's probably what most of us are going to be starting with. Again, in order to take our laser program, you do have to take our aesthetics program prior or be licensed already. So you have the option to take aesthetics with laser back to back, or you can always just get your aesthetics training and license, use that in the field, and then down the road, if you decide that laser would be beneficial for you, you can circle back and add that on in the future. So we've got some options. They are separate enrollments. You'll see advertised on our website a 780-hour advanced program. That's essentially it's the aesthetics training, the 600 hours of aesthetics combined with that 180-hour laser. So same program, separate enrollments. That way you're not locked into anything in case plans change. But that's going to be what you're looking at when you see that. So let me get my screen shared for us here. And then we'll get into some more details here. Okay. I think that guy's working. Okay, hopefully you guys can see my other screen. If you're having any issues with audio or visual, please let me know. I haven't seen any chats come through, so I'm assuming you guys are just holding your questions, or I've done something wrong. So I don't know, but we'll figure it out here together. So, all right, let's get into some details here. So real briefly, our school has been around since 2005. With the aesthetics program kicking things off. And then in 2009, we added in the laser program. So we've been established for a while. Both our aesthetics and our laser programs have clinics that are open to the public, which is also where you as a student will be working during after a certain period of training so that you can really mimic that real world environment, take clients, you know, and get that hands-on experience, which also can go on your resume. So that's helpful as well. Okay, so like I was saying, these are just a list of our program options, starting with the 600-hour aesthetics, the laser, and then just to show that you can take them back to back as well. All of your classroom hours are on campus. So we're located in Tempe at McClintock and Southern. And yeah, so all of your training will be here on site. It's all hands-on, so everything that's in our curriculum, you personally as a student get to receive. So it's a great way to learn. You get all those fun perks and getting to work with your own skin and you know, really understand kind of from a client perspective what's happening with those products and those treatments and, you know, be able to relate better to clients. But with that said, your technology or your curriculum rather is online. So you will need a device, a laptop, a tablet to access that while you're here. All right, so let's break down some schedule options with the aesthetics program. Oh, that's not what I want to do. Try to get rid of this bar for you guys. Okay, so we offer a full-time and a part-time aesthetics program. Our full-time program is about 30 curriculum weeks. With your breaks factored in there, it's closer to about 8 to 9 months. So you have holiday breaks and stuff while you're in school. The first 8 weeks, so first couple months here, you're going to be in school 4 days a week from 8:30 until 4:30. Some of our classes start on Mondays and go through Thursday. Some are Tuesday through Friday. Just depends on your cohort. Then once you finish those 8 weeks, you'll only be in class from 8:30 until 5, 3 days a week for the rest of the program. That's days of the school's choosing, sometime between Monday and Friday. So you don't have any weekends with the day programs. You don't have to worry about that. And then at the end of everything, you're just wrapping up your student spa hours and getting ready for state board. So you take 2 exams with the board in order to get licensed. So we help prepare you for that so that you're super well equipped to know what to expect for those, because we want to make sure not only are you successful throughout the program, but then you get to get licensed and then utilize that training out in the field. Similar situation here, but our night program is about 50 weeks. So that's going to be closer to 13 months with breaks, just over a year, starting with your foundations and theory. So the first 4 months, you will be here 3 nights a week. That will not change. So 3 nights a week from 6 p.m. until 10 p.m. Some of our starts are on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Some are a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So that will stay the same. For the first 4 months, you'll come in 1 Saturday a month as well, from 8:30 until 5. And then at the end of the program, you'll come back every Saturday for the last 10 weeks. So just keep in mind, you'll have a little bit of weekends for the night if you're a night student. And then we'll just go over the laser schedule here too. Nothing you really have to remember yet unless you are already licensed or have taken our program and are ready to jump right into this. But laser is 15 weeks, as Leslie said. The first 7 is didactic, so that's in your classroom, learning about the function of the lasers, how they work in the body, all of that. And that will always be on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You can do that from 1 to 5 p.m. or from 6 to 10 as a night student. And then once you finish didactic, you get into your laser clinic. That'll be 8 weeks, and at that point, you can select your own shifts. So lots of options there, a lot more flexibility. The products that we use here on your screen, so those 4 brands are included in your student kit. Everything you need for the program is in that kit. It's included in your cost. So lots of fun stuff. We've got Rhonda Allison, which is a really great botanically based line. Hylunia, which is a great line, particularly for people who have more sensitive skin. Often love that because it's free of parabens and fragrance and things that can be very inflammatory. And then we have ELTA, MD, and color science, which are going to be a couple of SPF lines that we really love. We're also going to emphasize ingredients throughout the program because we want you to, not come out of the program only being able to use these brands, right? We want to make sure that you can read a label, identify ingredients, and make your own educated decisions out in the industry because there's so much out there. Awesome. So we have awesome graduates. Like I said, we really want to focus on preparing you for utilizing your training in the field. As a graduate myself, 100%, that's what happens. We've got great staff here, great curriculum. I always encourage students or prospective students, as you guys are comparing schools, which is an important thing to do, to kind of look at two things. First being the curriculum itself. What are you being taught? Because there's a lot out there. And you want to make sure when you finish a program, you've got a really solid basis and foundation for whatever you're going to do next. There's always more to learn, new certificates to get, depending on what direction you want to take things. But you want to make sure you've got a good balance from the beginning. So our curriculum is both, you're going to get a lot of traditional spa type practices and treatments in there, and you're going to get more medical corrective treatments as well. So kind of getting both right out of the gate. The other thing to look at is how you're being taught. So if you can connect with graduates or students and just kind of get a picture of, how you really are being trained throughout the program. Is it hands-on? Is your instructor really engaged with you? Things like that. Because that's an important element to your learning as well. So just some things to think about as you're looking around. Okay, so when it comes to enrollment, pretty straightforward here. Once you determine the schedule and start date that's best for you, that's one piece, and then funding is another piece, which I'll go over here in a second. But all we require is that you be at least 18 years old by the time you graduate. So theoretically, you can enroll prior to that. Have a high school diploma or equivalent, and then be eligible to work in the US. So we'll get a copy of all that stuff when you enroll. Okay, so funding wise, the cost for the program for aesthetics is $15,015, and it is eligible for financial aid. So that's a popular route. If you don't want to pursue financial aid, we can also offer payment plans that are interest-free, which also would be the case even if you did pursue federal aid and had some out of pocket. But if you want to pursue federal aid, it's a good option. The links are here on the screen, and I can also send those to you later on. But that's going to be your next step. Get those forms filled out if you're thinking of starting anytime in the next 4 months. We're enrolling now through April. All those classes are open. So do your FAFSA. Contact me once it's complete. I'll put my information up on the screen here in a minute. And then at that point, we'll be able to get you connected with our financial aid department to discuss all those details, let you know your payment options, what your out-of-pocket would be, et cetera. So just informational at this point. Like I said, it can't hurt to just do this and kind of get a feel for things. If you're comparing schools, cool, you can put multiple codes in a FAFSA to get various information. Okay, cool. I'll leave this on the screen for you too. My contact info, the best and quickest way is usually just to send me a text with questions. Start dates though, coming up. We're filling up really quickly. So I have a class starting next week, which I know is pretty short notice, but I do have some seats available if you're ready to move that quickly. That's going to be one of our full-time classes on the 30th. And then in February, I have both a day and a night class on the 19th. And in March, I have another day class on the 26th. So that's kind of where we're at right now. I'd say if that is something that you're leaning towards, we want to keep the ball rolling for you. Okay, let me check our chat here. All right, will we be responsible for finding our own clients in clinic? Great question. No, so in our clinic, both aesthetics and in laser, we take care of your clients. We've been established for many years, like I showed you, so we do have a lot of longstanding clients that just know they're able to come in and get really great treatments at a discounted price, so they keep coming back. So we stay pretty busy. We take care of that. You're welcome to invite people in, but it's not required. Also kind of along that line too, we're going to teach you retail skills, which is super valuable for the industry. Employers really look for that skill, and that's where a lot of your profit can come from. But there's no requirement or like minimum retail when it comes to the clinic, but just a good skill to practice anyway. Yeah, good question. Let's see, what else do we have here? If you start a night schedule, can you switch to days? We're generally no, because the classes don't parallel each other and run at different paces. It's really tricky to switch. So there's a lot of parameters around that. So as a general rule, no, there can be small exceptions to that. It would really affect your timeline, your graduation date. So if it's like some kind of emergency situation, we can discuss that with your advisor. But as a rule, if you enroll into one program, we want to make sure that that is the right program for you, that that schedule is going to work, and you can really commit to that for the duration of the program. Awesome. Okay, what else do we have? Other questions here? Students are provided with uniforms as well. Your uniform cost is included in that total. So anytime you're on campus, you'll wear black scrubs. So we take care of that for you. Will we have help with resumes? Yeah, so part of our curriculum is dedicated to talking about kind of post-graduation job opportunities. We like to bring in third parties to other businesses to talk about what they offer and just give you, glimpses into other like aspects of the industry. And then part of that block is also going over resume building. So you do kind of write up a mock resume, you'll do some mock interviews, just talk through like being professional and how to present yourself. And again, just kind of the whole employment side of the industry. So yeah, good stuff. Okay, if you're sick and miss class, how do you make up your hours? For sure. Yep, life happens. We are a clock hours school, so the only way to complete the program and graduate on time is to make sure you've been here for all 600 hours. But when things come up, we get it. So depending on what you miss, if you miss a specific check off, you'll work with your advisor to come in and find time to get that check off made up. Our minimum requirement is that you be present for 80% of the program. So again, if you were to miss enough to fall below that, you'll work with your advisor. There are some parameters around making up time. So as long as you are dedicated to being here and prioritizing school and communicating with us, if something does come up out of the ordinary, then yeah, we'll be able to work with you and we understand that. So very good. And I mentioned before, but you do have holiday and seasonal breaks throughout the year. So, if you have trips or things that you're trying to plan, hopefully those can coincide. You don't have to miss any class time for things like that. Good questions. Okay, other thoughts? And again, we're in Tempe, we're at McClintock and Southern. Enrollment is first come, first serve. So I'll just reiterate again, I have limited seats in some of these upcoming classes. So if January, February, or March are things that are as a timeline that would work with you and kind of your goal there, definitely get in touch with me. We'll get next steps going and move towards that goal. And then we have new starts every month too. So we'll have another day class and night class in April and on and on. So if you're thinking that you want to get started a little bit later in the year, we've got options around that too. Great. Okay, well, that is the information that I needed to share with you guys today. I hope that was helpful. I hope you enjoyed learning from Leslie and kind of getting a glimpse into the laser side of the industry too. If you need anything, please reach out. We'll connect with you guys too. And hopefully we'll get to talk more in the future. All right. Thanks, everyone. Hope you have a great night.